Black Clover is back, and we start off with Asa doing what he said he was going to do. He's going to kill the five-headed dragon. So he starts out with the devil eel-looking head, and he chops it clean off. And he immediately goes over to the hammerhead shark one and cleans its face right in half, splitting it right down the smile. The thing is, he looks over to his side, and the devil eel is already regenerated, and the hammerhead then regenerates as well. So basically, its regeneration has nothing to do with magic, because Asta, whenever he's cut someone who uses magic to regenerate, it cuts off the flow of magic, and they're unable to do that. So this is just a natural thing that the dragon can do, is just keep regenerating. Actually makes me happy, because it means it's going to require more than just Asa to beat this dragon. Yeah, so while Asa's trying to figure out a way to beat the five-headed dragon, Heath and Yosuga are fighting, and Heath's ice magic ain't doing shit. Like, he's bombarding Yosuga with all kinds of attacks, and it's not leaving a single scratch. Now, we learn later why, because he has this metal magic, and so he coats his body with metal, and he just can't take damage. So he says he cannot lose for the sake of Lucius's righteous world. And Yosuga basically remembers in the sense that, yeah, he also created an oath to his shogun, to Ryu, and actually begins to remember the whole story of basically his entire life. So Yosuga and Ryu were apparently the strongest in the entire land. Like, there was no one in comparison to either of them. They were equals in complete combat power and, well, magic power. In fact, they were so powerful that two of them were basically the only candidates to be the next shogun. So an odd plague hit the island, one that targeted people with low magic power and was basically killing the hundreds, if not millions of people at this point, and the whole island was on threat of being wiped out. The leadership apparently decided the only way to save them was to find this specific herb, which apparently can cure all disease, I'm guessing. Like, that's basically what it's implied. I mean, it's called a living soul herb, so it just seems to imply that it can just cure all disease. No one knows where it exists. In fact, it's considered to even be a myth because it's so elusive and rare. And this is where we learn where Ryu gets his power from, his all-seeing eye. Apparently, it's this secret ability that exists in this country, where if you are willing to give up all your magic power, you have the ability to have clairvoyance. The funny thing is, the reason why they don't trust his power to a person with low levels of magic power is because you have to give up a massive amount of magic power, so only the strong can have this ability. So basically, it's you either get to be a super strong magic user, or you have clairvoyance. You don't get to be someone who's weak with magic and say, you know what, magic's useless to me anyway, I can just use clairvoyance much better. No, it has to actually be a sacrifice. And so as you can imagine, Yosa and Ryu were the only candidate. And Yosa was basically like, no, I would never give up my strength for clairvoyance. It's a worthless ability. He straight up admits that he would rather let the weak die than become weak himself. Ryu immediately volunteers and accepts the deal. So he gets the clairvoyance, he finds the herb, and he saves people. But it doesn't just end there. He continues to do good around the nation with this ability, and he continues to create followers, including the Ryu 7. And when it was time to pick the new shogun, pretty much the leadership was going to pick Yoryoku. He immediately put a stop to that and said, no, Ryu's the shogun, and I'll be your samurai. So the shogun and the wizard king seem to be the exact same thing, where it's not an inherited throne. You had to earn it through merit. And originally it seemed that the shogun was all about strength, just like the wizard king. Ryu was able to basically break that tradition and find a way to get the throne just sheer merit of using his brain and his clairvoyance and just doing what was needed by for the people. And so that makes me wonder, is it possible for someone who's weak in the Clover Kingdom to do the exact same thing? Like, keep making things better for the Clover Kingdom, earn the trust and admiration of the people, and then become the Wizard King? Do you need to be strong, like the strongest? I'm just saying, it's a pretty interesting thing to see that to become the leader of a country, you don't just need to have power in this world. You actually can do it. You can actually find other ways to showing merit. So yeah, back to the fight, where Yoru decides to encase himself completely in iron, smashes through all of the man's ice, and just cuts him down with one slash. So all that's left is the dragon, and so that's when Ryu appears with Fuji, and he gives a speech to the rest of the 7 who have basically gotten their asses kicked, and declares that he will always be with them, he'll always be watching them, and that he trusts them to take down this dragon together, and that he believes absolutely that they can do it. And this, of course, inspires them because they've always followed this man, and the rest of the 7 stand up and declare that they will basically beat this dragon. Everyone except for Ichika, who I'm assuming is still probably going through some trauma about the fact that she was the one who slaughtered her clan. Yeah, I don't think Ryu is the one who's been able to snap her out of that, because he's the one who's been lying to her all these years. Most likely, Asta will probably become her hero in that. But yeah, I'm guessing next chapter we're going to kill the dragon somehow. If it can regen without magic, I don't know how they're going to kill it. I mean, I guess it has a limit to its regen maybe, so just keep hitting it until it dies, so that's a method. Once again, I'm actually really happy that Asta needs help with the dragon, because if Asta could just crush this dragon, that would have really disappointing. Like, being able to watch him and the samurai work together, because, once again, team fights are what make Black Clover so great. If you like this video, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, so you enjoy more Black Clover and other anime things. Thank you, and have a great day.